All right, so this is your study guide for quiz 30. First couple of problems, you're asked or you're told the relationship between the variables in the table, or is the relationship between the variables in the table direct, inverse, or neither? If it is direct or inverse, write a function to model it. So we're looking for direct, inverse, or neither. And in the first table of values, we've got all the x values are increasing and all the y values are increasing. So if both values are increasing, it can be direct or neither. Now, if it's direct variation, then all of the y's divided by the x's will have a constant. All right, so if we go here and take y, 14, divided by 7, that equals 2. 20 divided by 10 equals 2. 28 divided by 14 is 2. 36 divided by 18 is 2. So our constant, our y over x, is equal to 2. So if we have to write a function, we just multiply both sides by x, and y is equal to 2x. So there's your function. Direct variation is division. Direct variation, you divide y by x. Okay? So in this second table of values, we got the x's that go, they're all increasing. And the y values, negative 13, negative 12, 9, 21, those are all increasing as well. So let me go back up here. This is direct. Yeah. Well, if you start at negative 9, and you know what I mean? You're starting way left on the number line, you're moving to the right, so they're actually increasing. So this can either be direct or neither. And if it's going to be direct, then all the y's divided by the x's have to equal the same thing, a constant. Well, if you look through here, 13 divided by 9 is 1.4 repeating. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 21 divided by negative 1 is negative 21. So we don't have a constant. All right? So if we don't have a constant, it can't be direct. So it's got to be neither. And since it's neither, we can't write a function to model it. Okay? So any questions on either of those two? All right, problem number 3. Suppose that x and y vary inversely. X equals 2 and y equals 8. Write a function that models the inverse variation. All right, inverse variation. That's when every x times y equals a constant. So if we take 2 times 8 equals our constant. So 16 equals our constant. So if we go back to this format here and we divide each side by x, then our y is equal to the constant over x. So our function that models the inverse variation is y equals the constant 16 divided by x. In problem number 4, W and T vary inversely. All right, inverse. So W times T equals a constant. Write a function that models the inverse variation and find T when W equals 9. So our function needs to be T equals. Okay? So we're going to take T and multiply it by W. So our T times W is going to be 1/5 times 4 equals the constant. So our constant is equal to 4/5. So since our function needs to be T equals, all right, if we divided each side here by W, then T is going to equal our constant, which is 4/5, over W. Now, when you're writing a function and you're in this format here, you've got a fraction in the numerator, and that's not allowed in math. So I'm going to move out here for a second where I got some room. T equals 4/5 over W. All right, if T equals 4/5 divided by W, taking 4/5 and dividing it by W is the same thing as taking 4/5 and multiplying it by 1 over W. So what this is also equal to is 4 over 5W. So the function that models this relationship is T is equal to 4 over 5W. And then they're asking you to evaluate it when W equals 9. So we take T is equal to 4 over 5 times 9, which is 4 over 45. So this is your function, and this is your T when W is equal to 9. In problem number 5, a drama club is planning a bus trip to New York City to see a Broadway play. The cost per person for the bus rental varies inversely as the number of people going on the trip. It will cost $30 a person if 44 people go. How much will it cost if 60 people go? So if it varies inversely, then our cost times the number of people that go is going to equal a constant. So our cost per person is 30 times 44 people going is equal to a constant. So 30 times 44 is equal to 1320. So 1320 is our constant. How much will it cost? So what's the cost times 60 equals 1320. So we're trying to find the cost now if 60 people go. So divide each side by 60. And now our cost is going to be 1320 divided by 60, which is $22 each. All right, problem number 6. I'm going to rewrite this numerator as p minus 8 times p minus 4. Negative 8, I'm sorry, p minus 8 times p plus 4. Because negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. Negative 8 times positive 4 is negative 32. This is over p plus 4. Our p plus 4's cancel. And we're left with p minus 8. Now, just one exclusion. So the only exclusion here is that p cannot be equal to negative 4. Problem number 7, I'm going to rewrite it in factored form. So q squared plus 11q or plus 24, I'm going to use 8 and 3. So q plus 8 times q plus 3. In the denominator, I'm going to use 8 and 3 again, but it's going to be q minus 8 times q plus 3. The q plus 3's cancel. And in simplest form, we have q plus 8 over q minus 8. Now our restrictions are that q cannot equal, can't equal positive 8, because 8 minus 8 would be a 0. And q can't be negative 3, because negative 3 plus 3 would be 0. So those are your two restrictions. 8 and negative 3. All right, problem number 8. Just be careful here because you got n to the 4th minus 11n squared plus 30. You're going to factor it the same way, but your variable will be squared in your factors, meaning we're going to have n squared 30. Let's go with what's 6 and 5? Negative 6 and negative 5. So n squared minus 6 times n squared minus 5. Negative 6 plus negative 5 is negative 11. Negative 6 times negative 5 is positive 30. And then in the denominator, we've got an n squared. All right, well, we can use negative 5 and negative 2. So n squared minus 2 times n squared minus 5. All right, so the n squared minus 5 is canceled. We're left with n squared minus 6 over n squared minus 2. Now, our restrictions are different, meaning if we've been able to find these other restrictions just doing mental math. All right, but in this case, when you've got n squared or anything squared, and you're trying to find your zeros down here, if you take n squared minus 2 and set it equal to 0, you would get n squared equals 2, and if you take the square root of each side, then n is equal to positive or negative square root of 2. Well, if n equals positive or negative square root of 2, this factor would be equal to 0. So that's one of your restrictions. So n cannot be equal to positive or negative square root of 2. And then we can do the same thing with the other factor. If you take n squared minus 5, set it equal to 0, add 5 to each side, n squared would equal 5, and then you could take the square root of each side, and n would equal positive or negative radical 5. So that's your other restriction, positive or negative radical 5. Yes, sir?
If it was like a 4, like you gotta do it, then just
Yeah, if it was n squared minus 4, then it would end up being positive or negative 2. If anytime you've got your n squared minus a perfect square, you'll get a whole number. If not, you'll get positive or negative square root of that number. All right, any other questions from the study guide? All right, that's all I have for today. Please use the rest of the period to get your electronic assignments submitted and or work in the ALEKS app.